Om Shanti. We all sit straight and centralize your all energy and create this awareness in the center of forehead of your presence in your eternal self as your eternal self. As the seed, as master of this body. I am a pure being, a loveful being, a peaceful being. I take the vibrations of love and peace into the body, all the cells of body. Experience the vibrations of purity and peace. Then I extend these vibrations to all the elements, the nature, to create purity in all elements. Because of lack of our regular human activity, all the elements are free from many, many pollutions. But there is a big pollution of fear, of anger, of revenge, greed, violence. So clearing those vibrations, as these vibrations create very harmful negative energy around all the human beings. So protecting the self, protecting the body, atmosphere around me, surroundings. I extend the vibrations of purity and peace. Faith in God and one's destiny holding the vibrations of trust, and keeping myself very stable. But keep taking drishti from Baba and feel that Baba's light and might is protecting you. Baba, as invisible he is, but at Confluence Sage, we are so fortunate to experience God in Sakar through Brahma Baba. And then combined form Awake Babdala through Dadi Gulzar. So we have experienced God, experienced His love, His care, His sustenance. So I'm very fortunate. So now, while taking the history from Baba, just go in the merged stage so that the love and the power emerges in the soul. In silence, Baba gives. In silence, Baba communicates. Makes me feel belong to Him. Creates hope and courage. It reminds me of my destination and my great fortune. So it is in silence with my heart full of love for Baba. I merge in ocean of love. I have surrendered to Baba. And the reign of intellect is in Baba's hands. I am constantly being guided by Baba. As my father, teacher, and Sadguru, Baba is my companion. I have to keep this awareness of relationship with Baba in immersed form.
दर्शन करे अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे आए अनुभव करे आत्मदर्शन करे अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का भान तज कर परम धाम चल दे स्मृतियों से सज कर प्रभु पास आकर किरण में नहाकर हम सा बने यादों में हम समा कर स्नेह से कल्प तरु का सिंचन करे आए अनुभव करे आत्मदर्शन करे अपने पांचों स्वरूपों का चिंतन करे
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Purity is our religion. Purity is our nature. Pure energy is what I am. In purity, when we become spiritual, in Hindi we call it alaukik. So there are two. One is laukik, that is physical. Alaukik is spiritual. So we become alaukik. Our personality becomes spiritual. And the transformation, not only in awareness or consciousness, but it's very much visible in our how we see things, how we talk, how we walk, our dress, our relationship, everything becomes alaukik or spiritual. And I think we all have that experience. Our relationship, here we are few hundred or Brahmins, BK, in general, worldwide, our relationship is spiritual relationship. And even if we are part as members of organization or students of same university, we have different relationships, but our relationship on all levels is spiritual relationship. And when there is purity, soul consciousness, then that personality of spirituality, the transformation which happens from lokik to alokik, when one walks in body consciousness or one walks in soul consciousness, there is difference. Whatever you decide to eat, whatever dress you decide to wear, in soul consciousness, everything is different. It's alokik, spiritual. And that spiritual or alokik life, alokik attitude, alokik behavior is very important, because two things I think are very important in life. That when I become alokik, spiritual, I'm using what alokik means, not like other lokik people, lokik ways. There is definitely impact in the family, lokik family. Everything has an impact of our spirituality. And then, of course, from spirituality, we move on to what Baba calls avyakt. So first we become spiritual through purity, spiritual relationships. And a new kind of karmas begin. Pure karmas, sattvic karmas. My relationship with body, relationship with others, even lokik, relationship with money, relationship with my business or work, and all my belongings. Mm. So, with spirituality, internally moving towards awake stage, but as inner transformation has lot to say, a big message for everyone around me, but then the success which is visible. Because what attracts everyone is the success which I experience or I bring in everything based on spirituality. Mm. It's so interesting that most of us, especially instruments, when we came to knowledge, I did not know that I have to play this role of helping or coordinating starting centers or coordinate, so much all the time. uh, so that my role or some of us got this role, call it regional coordinators, which I don't like much, but then that's really the role to make sure that everyone is okay, we are connected, we support each other, there is enough sustenance available. Mm. So that means I have to use alokik, the spirituality and purity in administration. In my relationship, even as I am playing the role of coordinating, organizing. Mm. So we do create guidelines, but with lot of spiritual love, we help every soul to understand that what are guidelines. Mm. And I remember that one of the quality of Mama, which I always observed, that whenever anyone made any mistake or needed some better understanding of what that person is doing, and within 300 of them, if some kind of it comes to attention of Mama is told that this soul needs to bring some change or do things in a different way. So generally, Baba will give Murli. Baba won't say anything, but Mama had the responsibility to talk to that soul. So Mama will call that soul and say, Baba has explained us to do things like this. This is what Baba's teachings say. Two things she never did. I want you to be like that. I want you to do like that. Mhm. And secondly, she never said, you have to do it. Mhm. So there was so much that humility and God's love. Mhm. Like I feel person like me, if someone just says, you have to do it, this is what organization is about. But I didn't come for that. I came to be God's child. And I remember when as a young PK, if my instrument was even little bit into I and you have to listen, mm, I will never do that. And for that, of course, there was reaction, but lot of respect from seniors because they knew that when they have to tell me something, they have to tell me with that God's love, with humility in way which is alokik. Because I was in school, I was in university, in a very big extended Lokik family, I knew what are the norms, what are the values, what is the way. So I was very disciplined, but I came to God to be told in a different way, to experience something different. So what happens that many of us, Even in Lokik families, sometimes I don't do this now. No? We give example that there was a very young Baba's child took knowledge and went home and said, I won't eat this from today. Nobody can do this to me. I will not be, So everyone was kind of, what is this? It can't be, So without spirituality, doing anything in a Lokik world or within the Brahmin family really is lack of purity. Because purity is spirituality. Alokik. Alokik is a very beautiful word. Alokik. Lokik, from this word, they have their own ways, they have their customs, systems, everything. But when I'm alokik spiritual, yesterday I explained our vocabulary is different, our attitude towards each other. These days we are always kind of rushing. So even if we say Om Shanti, don't share drishti. We just say Om Shanti, rush it. But there was a time, I think we all remember, when it was our spiritual childhood, we really gave lovely drishti and said Om Shanti. Today is not Om Shanti for Shanti, Om Shanti more as a greeting, which is okay, but there is lack of spirituality. So alaukikta in our life should be the outcome or response of our inner purity. So spirituality, so within, as I said, that self-transformation which happens, where my behavior, my interaction, my words are alokik, and I'm using more the knowledge, not necessarily giving knowledge, but in form of dharana. And then there is success also all the time because Baba's task. So this will transform our Lokik family into a Lokik family. Even we know that it's their time. At the right time, they will transform. But our aim really is that I am in this Lokik family. I am fortunate. So let everyone become a Lokik. And I'm saying this with my experience, not theory, that transformation is very visible and Lokik family can see it. Many elders in my Lokik home will say, but whatever we like to do, we can't do, and she's able to do. So then, of course, we will say it's because of Baba, God. So there was so much interest. But then, because I started following principles and many things, so they were a little bit not ready for it. But then, after some time, when they saw success and what kind of life it is, first they thought a young girl doesn't marry, who will sustain, who will take care, what will is the future. And when they saw the commitment, the success, there was big attraction, and they also said, okay. So I don't think there is any member in the family who didn't take knowledge. Everyone took knowledge wherever they were in different cities of India, but also a lot of bhavna for yagya. And thirdly, I found that same kind of commitment. And many, of course, some of you must have heard, we were many, many members in Gyan, about 60, 70 of us, but there were about 11, 12 of us who lived a surrendered life and took care of centers at different places. So alaukikta, this spirituality has power As Baba said, personality of purity attracts. But what is that purity? Is alaukikta. So in alaukikta, in soul consciousness, whatever we do, as I said, is spiritual. So amongst ourselves, the karmas which we create and also settle is in a alaukic way. It could be from past, some kind of conflict. And for me, I immediately say, it is from both sides. You do it, I do it. But I don't like it, the way you say or you argue with me or you have to defend. I will change myself. I am not going to respond or think in the way from the past, but I will do based on knowledge. So I change my completely inside. I don't like it. So if I don't like it, somewhere I have to stop. So internally, I will remember Baba, change my attitude, and look at that one as a soul. I want to create a lovely and spiritual relationship with you. Anyone, Lokik family, Brahmin family, our neighbors, contact souls, anyone. If I don't want anything, I don't like anything, I have to change. And when I am changing, it's a very, very royal way of settling. Maybe as little tolerance is required, some adjustment is required, which is good because my powers will increase. So, transformation or settling in a spiritual way based on purity, like Brahma Baba, we didn't see any sign of struggle or anything. How much opposition, challenges, responsibility he had to take care of 250 women. You think it's ordinary? But he did it. He did it because he used purity, power of purity. Not only I'm celebrate everyone, that's important, but he was spiritual. He was a Lokik person. You all have heard if he is walking in Bombay on the seashore, people will stop and look at him. Even I could say that he was very spiritual personality. Surrender everything, knowing even there was beggary part, but his faith was until now, whatever Baba surrender created yagya, we all are still getting sustenance from that. That seed was so pure of his wealth that until now Baba's all Bhandaras worldwide are sustaining us. So that is called power of purity in spirituality. So when he became trustee or he surrendered everything, after that he didn't have thought and he said, oh, I gave so many houses, I gave all the money. Not only him, there were many families. Right? But some, that is why Dadi Janki always said, it's easy to surrender, but to be trustee after surrender, very few can do. And I like that concept. And she gave us many examples that why so many left or they were not successful because they surrendered, but they were not trusty. Because if we are trusty, we will be obedient. So think little bit of, am I becoming a lokik from this power of purity? transformation is happening. And it is so, the transformation is so visible. The way I will think about wealth before. So I have money, so I can spend, I can go get this. There are two things here. One is I contribute. So it's your money now, so you contribute to Baba. And some will say, oh, everything belongs to Baba, but they don't do anything. Use their money in Yagya Seva. They say, no, it's all Baba's. But those who have understanding, they will know how to use money, where to use money. I'm from a family at that time where we had a lot of social customs and systems. If girl is married, then after marriage, every festival, every day, uh, mother has to keep sending something, giving something. So one time there was a situation where the whole realization came in her and she said, no, I can't give because this is Baba's money. So if it is Baba's money I am giving, or when I'm using, I get permission from Baba. It's a very high principle, but think about it. It's Baba's money. I want to spend, which is important, necessary. So I ask Baba, can I use this much money for my child education or for investment or for buying house? I should get permission from Baba or look at Shrimat. But if there is still, it's my money, so I give. It looks so. I remember that we always call it Baba's Bhandara. So when before we never had boxes, right? Bhandara. Dadis were there with our bhavna. We will give to Dadi for Yagya, any Dadi or senior sister, whosoever was instrument. But when Baba became awake, Baba gave some directions to Ramesh Bhai. And one of the direction is to put Bhandari. Let everyone put in Baba's box. So then when, you know, in India we could write Bola Bhandari, Bola Babas or Bola Bhandari's Bhandara. But when we came to Western world, then what to write on Baba's boxes? And especially there are some at public places. I remember in London that he was saying put box in such a way that it's not visible. Because Baba is not like he needs collection of he needs donation or contribution. And that royalty in Dari Janki and that so they had big bandara, but only Baba's children will know. Because she didn't necessarily wanted Lokik people to put anything in Baba's bandara. Because it was very, very careful that Baba's children, Brahmins, should only eat from the money which came from pure souls, other Brahmins. I had opened many centers in many states in India. So Baba will give me 500 rupees. Buy food from this and eat not from anything came from Baba's box. You can pay rent, you can pay electricity bill, you can print literature, but not eat from this. And Baba was so specific that food which should go in my stomach should be from pure money. So on one side, really look into purity element into wealth. If everything belongs to Baba, How am I spending it? Is it based on Baba's Shrimat? Mm. So if I am following Shrimat, and Shrimat really means taking care of karmas, elevated karmas. And that is why they say where the wealth goes, the mind also goes. So at this time for alaukikta in relationship with wealth, I have to really check, am I following Srimad? Even when it comes to not those who are in the family, but even those of us who are at the center, we are caretaker of Baba's Yagya, we open box, not necessarily me, whosoever is assigned. And then whatever we spend, we have to spend according to Baba Srimad. We had a big topic in Madhuban among seniors that one there are resources, Baba call it sadhan. How do I use resources? Do resource become my comfort? Is my sport, or I am just enjoying something? So whenever we buy anything for the center, I remember so many stories of Dadi Prakashmani. When Om Shanti Bhavan had to be built, it was built. There was a lot of discussion about stairs, the front stairs. There are many of them, quite large space. Should we use marble? Should we use stone? Should we use bricks or concrete? There were so many meetings because Dadi Prakashmani always kept Shrimat in mind. Of course, marble, we said no. Then it came to stone, then it brick. So one formula was not too cheap, not too expensive. Mm. Always remember that every cent comes in Baba's box. Mm. Is of course people's love, but commitment, dedication. But the way I use it becomes my karma there. Mm. It's very, very interesting, long topic. But what I want to share is that wealth also is where I create karmas. Lot of karmas. If anything is wasted, anything is luxurious. So in that topic, in essence, it came that necessity, then comfort, then luxury, then possession is needed. So example was given that there is a saying. Someone said, "Oh, I never had car. I don't want car. Every time I borrow car." So I said, "That's not point because there is a little saying about one of our prime minister, very short term. He was prime minister, and he said, "I will not use car. I will using bike." So Parliament will begin at 10 o'clock, and prime minister doesn't reach on bike. So okay, I don't need any facility. But if you have to make it in time, you can't make it on bike, right? So there were a lot of discussion on that our life at present shouldn't be depending on sadhan facilities, but on sadhana. So it was a big topic, and really it went on long, where we all realized that how much we are responsible, how we use money from whether your income or Baba's Bandara. So that spirituality in relationship to the wealth also becomes a very good guidelines for ourselves, for our places, for homes. And I know at least my Lokik family really appreciated the way I thought about money, how we spend. Not too cheap because then you have to, it keeps breaking, you have to keep running to market, but not so expensive that all the time I say, oh my goodness, scratches has come. So it's hurting my heart. Isn't it? When there is IBM or this, which car is that? BMW or anything. So if, even if there is a scratch, people feel it in their heart because when they know it's very expensive. So why our intellect and our heart and our mind is so affected by that? So it's greed, it could be attachment. So I'm not concluding, but we will take further about spirituality in wealth, purity in wealth, as we know about body, right? We take shower every day, we have clean clothes and eat clean food, pure food, sattvic food. But same is wealth. Wealth is a very, very important element in the life. So purity brings alaukikta, and then from alaukikta you move towards avyakt stage. And alaukikta could be spirituality, alaukikta could be divine, alaukikta could be spiritual principles, where inner transformation, my connection with everything, but also then the success. And today, worldwide, we have our centers, Baba's homes, Baba's children. And everyone have enough to eat, right? Dal roti. I was talking to someone in Shantivan little bit about how they're doing because so many people every weekend they had retreat, they had camp, they had Baba's visit, and now there is no one. So I was asking them how they managing, and they said, we always remember Baba had said, you will get dal roti. Dal roti, or it could be rice and dal, it could be bread, but then you need butter. So think about alaukikta spirituality in my relationship as I have with body, now with others, so that everyone in your family, I guarantee you, will appreciate that alaukikta, will take some benefit or other, and you will feel very happy that I served everyone because of spirituality, my honest heart, and my truthful nature. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Today we are going to visit Baba's home in the Americas and the Caribbean. Welcome to Canada. Today we are going to two places in Canada, our Vancouver Center and our Surrey Center. Are you ready to go? Let's go!
Om Shanti. I'm so happy to visit, to travel Vancouver. Claudia Ben, congratulations. I hadn't seen this center and Surrey Center. I'm very, really happy. I know how happy the family is, but I am very happy because I know you had been inviting me and I never visited. So, congratulations and our good wishes for all what you're doing, even if you have work. And you and Bob and all the team and everyone, our good wishes and congratulations for two beautiful places in Vancouver, Canada. Om Shanti. So now we listen to blessing for tomorrow. Blessings are long, very powerful. So we will continue our practice of being the eternal self and thinking of changing purity into spirituality. And for that blessing, we can combine, may you be introspective. May you be introspective and carry out new research. Carry out new research by staying in your laboratory of depth of experiences. Staying in the laboratory of the depths of experiences, different experiences we have. When experiences are first revealed to you, revelation will then take place. When all experiences are first revealed to you, revelation will then take place. For this, become introspective. Stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance and go in the depths of every attainment and research this. Go in depth of every attainment and research this. For that, instill a thought in yourself. Instill first a thought in yourself and then look at its results or success. So check, did the thought I had become practical or not? Whether it's thought for progress or service, but did the thought I had become practical or not? Stay in the laboratory of depth of experiences in this way, that how many thoughts became practical, so that others feel that all of you, so when you will do this research, then others will feel that all of you are especially absorbed in love and beyond this world. So when you are in your lab doing research on how many thoughts were practical, didn't happen, success, then others will feel that you are especially absorbed in love and beyond this world. That's also spiritual now. While doing everything, increase the practice of staying in a powerful stage of yoga. While doing everything, increase the practice of staying in a powerful stage of yoga, just as you have the practice of coming into words. As you have practice of coming into words, in the same way, practice maintaining your spirituality. Practice maintaining your spirituality. Accurate blessing, right? slogan. Those who observe games of the situations. Baba is calling situation as games. Those who observe games of situations while sitting, while seated on the seat of contentment, look at situation as games, while seated on the seat of contentment, are jewels of contentment. These are all games. Sit on the seat of contentment, then you become jewel of contentment. Om Shanti. Let's remember Baba and say thanks and good night to Baba.